What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AF Minicast. I'm the Graphic Gangster. Small Arms Danny. Tyler Treadway, the commish. And from the kitchen table, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cory G.
Oi. Oi. Like, what are they really saying there?
Oi.
Oink?
Oi.
All right, what's up? Your boy Cory G. We are here for another AF Minicast. I am, joined by these amazing gentlemen here to my right. The Graphic Gangster, who is getting leaner by the day. Danny, whose arms getting smaller by the day. And Treadway, whose beard is getting longer by the day. So, welcome to the Minicast. Danny, back to you.
All right, we're 23 days out from the second event on Muscle Island.
Yeah.
So I thought it was only fitting that we start there, right? So right now we have 112 people signed up. We got some plus ones on board and everything. So there's a full slate of activities that we're hashing out right now as far as the Olympics go. Why don't you kind of give your 2 cents on where we're at right now with the island, the progress, and what you're kind of envisioning?
Yeah, where we're at right now with the island and the progress, first off, it's just like anything else that I preach here, is having a date on the calendar. And it couldn't be even more true for the island progress too. Like, if we don't have the October 18th date last year, it's not done in enough time for the party. It's just the truth, because you guys saw the video I put 10 days out and people were messaging me whether they should wear boots or not. Like, it was pretty bad, right? Same type of thing with this, having the June 28th date. Landscapers have a couple weeks to finish everything. We have, another week or two to get the itinerary together so we can get it out. But overall, super optimistic and excited about this one, because this time last year, we hadn't even launched, the Mafia subscription yet. A month further from that, we might have had less people on the Mafia membership than are registered to come see us actually in person. So the evolution of the idea to this point is really exciting. I think the impact of the idea is really exciting. And I couldn't be more thrilled to have people come experience not only Muscle Island and hopefully get inspired by it, but also the community, and to make new friends and see the friends that you made last time you were here. So super excited overall, and just really looking forward to it. And I'm almost like mind blown every time I'm there. I stayed there last night by myself. Rachel had to go home and do some stuff with the kids, and I was like, I'm staying. I want to get a chance to train in the morning, think about some things, create some ideas, whatever. And yeah, it just really kind of a unique type of situation that I don't know is going to get old anytime soon. So I'm excited to have you guys come. Other than that, we'll have a full itinerary, full blown, kind of rules to the events. We have some prizes set up, and it's going to be between live music, regular music, food. Like, we got some really cool gear. Like, I'm excited. We feel a lot different than we did a year ago. So get ready. And if you're not registered, register. And if you ain't bringing a homie, bring one. Plus ones. I mean, it's cool. So That's my update, Daniel.
Cool. All right.
One other update.
Yeah.
I'm more shredded than Danny. Okay, back to Danny.
I mean, he is. He honestly is. All right. So we got some quick hitters here. A lot of this came from social media and what people have been intrigued about with some of the posts out there. So jump rope. We were just talking about jump roping. Obviously, you did a lot of jump roping in your past. A lot of people are asking what brand of jump rope you're using.
Yeah.
Are you doing it every day? How long are you doing it? Are you doing some weird double Dutch thing, or what are you doing?
My overall jump rope strategy, we'll call it. I do not have a brand that I love. I bought multiple ropes on Amazon, found one I kind of like. Should I create my own jump rope brand? Maybe. I have always, since I learned how to box when I was like 17, enjoyed jumping rope. I think it's the truth teller. Like, look, lunges will tell some truths to you too. There's no doubt. But take your shirt off, jump rope in front of the mirror. It'll tell you a fucking lot. It'll tell you how much body fat you got because it's bouncing. Can't fucking deny that. It'll tell you, how your lower legs, like endurance-wise, are. It'll talk to you about your coordination. It'll talk to you about a lot of different things. Your shoulders are burned, your balance. You can feel if you feel heavy or light. There's a lot of things that jump rope can tell you. And I think a lot of the things I just mentioned also will keep you young. And so that's something like you lose balance, coordination, gain body fat, lose athleticism as you get older. If you jump rope on a regular basis, I think it will return that because it'll reteach the body. If you've never really jumped rope, you will gain that. And everybody can do it. It costs $10, $12 for a jump rope. It's basically free, and you can do it pretty much anywhere. So yeah, I try to do 3 to 5 minutes a day. I think 5 minutes a day is a good standard to eventually, like if you can do 5 minutes and not miss, which I've been able to do, multiple times, and actually like get a rhythm to the music. I think the best thing is find 2 or 3 songs you love and make you feel good and just fucking start skipping rope, and you will not be mad once you get good at it. Feels awesome. So that's my jump rope. And I would just go 2 feet. Just start with 2 feet. And everyone's always trying to do this when they don't jump rope. Like keep your elbows to your side and just try to get good with 2 feet and just try to get it smooth. And then you can start getting cute after that.
All right. And so we're on the topic of being shredded. So I figured this is a logical place to go to. But And you've touched on this several times throughout your career, but like weighted abs versus unweighted abs. So like if you're doing a bunch of weighted crunches, ab pull downs, stuff like that, versus just banging out 300 body weight crunches. What is the difference between the two? What's your philosophy, and like why do you do what you do, and kind of like reps and sets and kind of stuff like that?
Yeah, I just think like it's like any other muscle, right? If you train it heavier, it's going to be a little thicker and denser. And so my whole format in my brain was like, well, even when my body fat's higher, if my abs are super thick and dense, the lines are going to stick out even when my body fat's higher. And that seemed to be true for me. And so, when I would get real super lean, they would look fucking real crazy because of the density of them. I got good at regular crunches first. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do them, but I'm just saying like at some point, and especially if you're doing them consistently, like they're just not going to challenge you the same way. So why not do less reps or the same amount of reps and weight them and then try to make them look like you're cut out of granite? I mean, I just think that's cool. And if you look that way, you're going to think it's cool. And so that's kind of my whole vibe on that. Like I used to think like, all right, I want to look like a statue that Michelangelo, like actually more ripped than those dudes. Cause I was like, what, like 1500? They didn't have abs like me. So it's like, that's why, Cole's on that tip. He knows what I'm talking about. So it's like, I just like would think like, I want to be like, ting, 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 like have these lines that look crazy. And like, I'm on the boat and I'm getting gas and people at the gas station are like, fuck man, this dude's abs are crazy. And then you're driving the boat over there and these people see you and they're like, fuck man, this guy's like abs are crazy. And that's what you're going for. Danny.
Thanks for the visual. Well, this brought up another thought, because obviously there's a million ab exercises you can do. So how do you determine what ab exercise you're doing, or like what phase you're in, like, or how long are you doing ab wheels, for example?
What really got this started was when I started doing the ab wheel. And I probably, like most things in my life, overdid it. I mean, I was doing 100 every morning, 100 every evening. And that's when my abs got kind of ridiculous the first time around. I probably did that for 6 or 8 months at least. And then I started adding weighted crunches to that on top of it at 200 a day. And then I started adding 100 toes to bars every morning. So at the peak of, let's call it the most ripped, crazy my abs ever looked, I was doing 500 weighted reps per day. And that's why I was on a bunch of covers and people was acting crazy when they would see them. And then I would make people uncomfortable at the pool when I wasn't even trying to. But that's really but I would also say I think it contributed to my back hurting because I was so much stronger on the front side than I was on my lower back. I haven't even been able to do wheels consistently in a while. I just started doing some weighted crunches again, but the volume's way low. I have built my ab muscles. They're not quite as dense as they've been in the past, but they're there, obviously. And when I'm lean enough, they still look crazy. But I would say like that was an over amount. That was also my main thing. So it just kind of is what it is. I wasn't on covers because I was 210 and shredded. I was on covers because my ab looked crazy because I wasn't that big. So that was like my thing I had to really key on. So I would say do half of that, like 50 or 100 ab wheels, which is very similar to bracing on a heavy weight too, because your stomach goes out, you're bracing out. The weighted, straight legs or toes to the bar, super key, transfer over athletically really well. And then the weighted crunches also, there was a benefit when I would push in my belt. I could feel the strength and difference in my stomach from that standpoint too. So I would do about half of what I just said. And I think your abs will look absolutely nuts if you, you get lean enough. So.
All right, noted. All right, Cole, take us away to carb land.
Yeah, so let's talk about, again, the carbs before bed, because I think a lot of people get tripped up on this. So let's talk about, what time ideally should you be eating your carbs before bed to get it to hit the right way, and what type of carb and just how much?
I think the carbs before bed around an hour before you go to sleep is probably the best. Everybody's insulin raises and drops a little differently, and everybody's sensitivity is different, right? So, but historically, if you're following the protocols and you eat enough sugar, which would be 1 piece of fruit, maybe 2 pieces of fruit. If you're super sensitive, you need a spike even harder, with a little bit of fat right an hour before, in theory, you should go into a nice sleep. I would keep it towards the fast acting ones. A lot of people are like, can I eat oatmeal? And I've kind of messed around with the muscle bites, eating those a little bit at night. People, sometimes I would eat extra sweet potatoes. But the reality is the true protocol and the thing that's the most proven, and I think that works the best long-term from a strategy of you get a healthy treat at night. You work all day, you're dieting your ass off, you're training, you get to eat a bowl of blueberries and strawberries or have a banana or two. It's something, you know what I mean? And I think that look at it as 2-part strategy. 1, sleep sounder. 2, mini reward that will keep you out of the cupboards eating shit you shouldn't be eating, and it's still healthy for you. So when I think about these things, I'm thinking about the overall strategy of life as an actual lifestyle, not as a diet plan you only do for a short period of time. So not only is it, I believe, the best strategy for a lifetime, it also then contributes to a deeper sleep and recovery. And look, I've been doing this for well over a decade. There's no way I would have been able to handle all of the things that I've got going on, including the level of training that I've been able to be at and stay at, if I wasn't sleeping, quality sleep. It would be impossible because I don't sleep that much. So it's definitely one of the things that contributed to me having this long of a career for sure. And I have a sweet tooth. So it really came from that because I wanted to eat cookies, and I got Girl Scout cookies at the house and all kinds of shit going on. And I want to eat that stuff too, just like you. But I know I at least can get, something like that or a muscle bar or something like that. And then it makes it much better.
Sick. All right. Along with that, so obviously you talked about the sleep and how the carbs affected that. But let's talk about supplements. What are the supplements that also help you be able to manage everything you got going on?
Yeah, the key supplements to me to manage the craziness of all these years, if I had to go a clear number 1, I think it's the amino recovery. Once again, if I'm not recovering properly, then I would have a muscle loss. If I'm not recovering properly, I couldn't perform well. I wouldn't look good. And, I have a pretty crazy fucking life, and I'm balancing trying to keep a high level of fitness. Even though fitness is my life, I'm still running businesses and a parent and all that kind of stuff, right? And so ever since I met Dr. Eric Serrano, I've taken 10 grams of branch chains. It's been 15 years. I don't miss a fucking day of them. And, I think that's a big reason why the fasting protocols work so well. I think it's a big reason why my recovery's been really good. I've been a branched chain amino acid guy since I met Doc when I was 21 years old. Secondly, real talk, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I need a fucking blast of caffeine, and our pre-workout wakes my ass up. That's where that came from. Wake your ass up. Dome the fucking pre-workout. All that shit's real because I'm hitting the alarm clock. I've got a lot going on. It's busy and I need to fucking wake up. And so the pre-workout not only wakes me the fuck up, but also help with pump and performance. And so to me, it's like branch change is probably number one for me. And I think that's historically been something I've talked about. I would say number 2 is the pre-workout, purely because of the call time and the necessity of that. And I would say number 3, which, historically I've used off and on in some capacity, is a fat burner. And I'll tell you what, there's all these different things on the internet about fat burners work or not. When you are dieting and on your shit, fat burners help a ton. Now, there's a bunch of different science that says like it doesn't actually burn fat or this or that, whatever. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. Here's what I'll tell you. The stuff that's in our fat burner also makes you like cognitively feel better. You have obviously a dose of caffeine to it. And then all of these other things that have shown that they contribute to fat loss. And once again, these are the 3 SKUs we started with, guys. This company was built on fat burner, amino recovery, and pre-workout. That's the first 3 things I had. We added protein later. We added all these other SKUs later. These are the building blocks of what Max Effort is, because these are also the building blocks of what Cory is, just straight up. And so I have had amazing results taking these 3 SKUs. Now, I would say my 4th, though, right now is the plant protein. And look, Muscle Bar is starting to give it a run for its money, but I take both of them probably almost as much as each other right now. But yeah, the plant protein, the chocolate peanut butter specifically, I like crave it. It's so fucking good. And I've taken whey protein for a really, really long time. And so it's been a nice change up. And then the Muscle Bar, which obviously is two things in one, having your 5 grams of creatine and your 20 grams of protein, using that at nighttime for a snack. We have all the different flavors. It tastes so good. So using that basically as my spike, or using it, for additional protein with just some of my other meals, like it's been unbelievable. So that's like my top 5 right now. We have so many good SKUs that are, meet a lot of people's needs at Max Effort, but those are like my top 5, I would say.
That's good.
Did I answer that good?
Yeah, that was really good. Do anything else?
We're going to throw it over to Trebway for some explosive talk.
Yeah, let's go, boy.
So a lot of people see you, right, that you're doing a deadmill, but they don't know what it is. Like they've heard of a treadmill, but they have no idea what a deadmill is. So what is it, and like where did it come from, and how do you implement that into your training?
Yeah, the deadmill, the first time I ever heard of it was when I was at Westside. If you look all the way back at early Knowledge Bombs, I did one at Westside on the deadmill. And it was like a mini treadmill that has no motor. It was just sitting at Westside. And I was like, and they were doing that, supersetted with some other stuff. And they were like, yeah, it's like sled walking, but you don't got to walk outside with the sled. You just do this. And I was like, I did it like 2 minutes, and I actually went forward, and it fucking blew my legs up, my glutes up. And I was like, oh, okay, I get this. And then when me and Treadway started jumping like 5 years ago, at least now, I'll never forget this. First jump session, I was probably 195 too, which didn't help. My fucking knees hurt for probably 10 days. And we only jumped for 15 minutes, maybe. I was so fucking weak. My patellas were shredded up, meaning just not strong. And so I started implementing that I would do backwards on an 8 to 10% incline, basically small kind of foot pushes or whatever, like you're dragging a sled backwards, and try to just put as much blood, turn the motor off, as much blood as you can into your VMOs, which is the teardrop on the side of your leg. And then obviously Ben Patrick made it super popular too, the knees over toes guy. But honestly, when I was at Westside and I was putting these suits on, I remember when I was 240, I walked backwards with the sled for 8 or 10 minutes almost every day, way before it was cool and the knees over toes stuff happened, which I love Ben's stuff. I think it's really, really quality. But I remember having knee problems because you got that suit on, and so you're super restricted. So there's a lot of pressure on your knees. And I remember thinking I feel like my fucking knee's gonna blow off. I need some more stability. And Louis like, yeah, drag the sled backwards. So started dragging the sled backwards. Then I started seeing it really pay off whenever I was jumping too. And so it's just something that I look at as a longevity thing. 5 minutes, dead mill every day or most days, combined with some tibialis work and a little bit of jump rope, will have the lower leg feeling really, really good. And I think I showcased that with, I mean, how many times in the low rim league did you really see me get super tired?
Never.
Only week 1. And I was still fucking running by people and dunking on them. Not on them, but, you know, in the game.
You can say on them.
Yeah, on them some. But my point is, like, a lot of it came from that. And compared to, like, our first time we jumped, fuck, bro. Not even close. And I mean, I just did a seated box jump 50 inches yesterday, and I didn't even know I could do that. I was jumping with my kids, and I think a lot of it has to do because that's like a staple in my training.
For the tibialis though, real quick, can you like literally point on your fucking leg where that is? And then
tibialis is your shin muscle right here, and when you go like this, and it's like I tell my kids, I want you to get a fucking bicep pump in your shin muscle. And what's hilarious is Nautilus used to make a tibialis machine. They had it at Rocky Road in Steubenville. I had no clue what the fucking thing was, but I've seen it. Like, so it's one of those things that was around and then got forgotten. But I am telling you, if I had that exercise when I was in high school, I would have dunked so fucking easy. Because when I was like 155, 160, I could fucking take 4 dribbles, dunk with 2 hands off 1 foot when I was a 1 foot jumper before I ripped my fucking labrum off. And if I would have had a stronger tibialis, I'm telling you, I probably would have been better. I high jumped 5'10" when I was in 8th grade. Like, I would have easily high jumped over 6 foot probably. I just did not. I used to have shin splints. So I know my shit was weak. And so I know I can feel it when I jump, how much more stable I am. And it's because of the tibialis work. And I just use a 5-pound kettlebell and literally just go on the edge of the bench and just fucking crank it for a minute and a half, switch back and forth twice. So I'll do like maybe around 6 minutes a day, 3 to 6 minutes a day of that. And that, as you get older, if you think about your balance, your stability, if it's like you're able to jump rope, which is your calf work and a lot of your Achilles and stuff, right? You got tibialis support, which is going to help you. It's a deceleratory muscle, which means when you go to jump and you're cutting, it's actually helping stop your body. Think about deceleratory muscles when you pitch, right? It's your lats and your upper back. It's the same thing for sports with the tibialis. And then on top of that, you add the deadmill, which helps your VMO and your patellas. I mean, you just feel a lot younger and a lot different. So,
and to stay on that topic, and you already alluded to it, but the 50-inch seated box jump was crazy. So
I felt like I got up there quick.
You did. You exploded off the ground. And it kind of goes with the longevity thing. Like, you're able to compete with the kids in your group, which is insane because they're freaks. Yeah. And you're beating them on a seated box jump. So what goes into that? Like, what's your mindset, and just how does that feel to be able to beat those kids?
To beat or beat even just them beat me by just a little bit, right? I think it shows them a couple things. One, if your coach can compete with you, you believe in the techniques more. Because I'm not saying just do this. I'm saying you better do it good or I'm going to beat you at it. That's different, right? And some of the things I can't beat them at anymore, but that's something I can at least give them a run at. And they look at me a little sideways like, fuck, I better get it together. You know what I mean? And then secondly, I'm showing them that I'm 30. Well, some of them dudes are 15 to 17 years old, talking 30 years. Like, I honestly think it gives them something to look forward to. They go, all right, I see how Cory's operating. The fact that maybe I have this many more years ahead of me, I think it's encouraging. So I look at it like, can I be an inspiration to think like there's a lot left? You know what I mean? And you got to fucking maintenance yourself. You've got to take care of yourself and have a little bit of luck. I mean, at the end of the day, a guy like LeBron takes care of himself, but LeBron hadn't been injured a whole bunch. But has he not been injured a whole bunch because he takes care of himself? You know what I'm saying? And so I think that, you've had some unfortunate injuries. All of us have had things that have happened to us. But I think like at the end of the day, like if you don't really stop and you stay consistent, you have a better shot at maintaining that. And I think that kind of shows they're consciously that's happening. They don't even know that's happening. But as they get older, they'll look back and be like, as they get 30, 31, 32, they'll be like, fucking Cory's like 50 when he was giving us a run on his, and I want that to be part of the inspiration, hopefully, for my kids. So it's cool. All right, we need a short break, and we're back. All right, Trevor, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. We'll kick it back to small arms.
All right, cool.
Well, that's pretty much all I have for this mini cast.
I want to ask you a question, Danny.
Oh, wonderful.
What are you most excited about for the Muscle Island event?
I'm excited to see who comes back, I think, from the first event, and then obviously the new faces. But it kind of felt like, at Soaring X, we all were raving about like all the different interactions you had, and you had no idea who the fuck you were going to be talking to.
Yeah.
You could be talking to I talked to a guy on SEAL Team 2, to somebody that works at Soaring X that did 2,000 pull-ups the night before. So like it was like totally mind-blowing. So I'm excited to talk to the people I think the most, But I think we're going to get the events sorted out and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah.
Cole, what are you most looking forward to?
I think obviously like, seeing all the customers and like people we're friends with, but also I think watching people who have come to the events before who kind of have their friends that they met at these events, but also like go and talk to other people. Like see who all is actually interacting with each other, because really the end goal of this should be that anyone who comes to this party leaves with like no new, like everyone there should be their friends.
Yeah, they have a new friend.
You know what I mean? Like they should, like everyone there should know each other by the end of this event. But I think the Olympics is going to be awesome. Like everyone with their shirts off, like just having a good time. And again, there is going to be a champion, but I just want to say, I think like the goal of this is not to win, it's just to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree. That's cool. Treadway.
I think the atmosphere. So last year we had a lot of diehards come, and the mixture of like the music with Morgan, Dami Styles playing, and just everyone like hanging out and having fun. And there was like, it's kind of like Soaring X where Bert alluded to it, where there's never been a fight.
Yeah.
And, we have the same atmosphere there where everyone just gets along. Everyone's happy to see each other. So, like, the whole vibe of the Island event is just, like, it's one of the craziest things I've ever experienced where, like, you're excited to go. Everyone's just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's a testament to what you've put on of, like, this brotherhood and brother and sisterhood of, like, everyone just loves everybody. So it's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, truly a positive, like, environment where everyone has similar aspirations of just getting better, and then feeding off an event like this to go home and and that's the thing I'm most looking forward to, is like people that can't wait to get back because they were inspired, people that haven't experienced it yet. And you got to remember, like, I still almost every time I go there, I think of the moment when I was standing in the middle and I couldn't see the water and I made the decision to do this. And even this morning when I woke up there, I'm still fucking just mind blown that we're at this point. And so that's why I know it's like one of those things where, it can continue to inspire a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to that. So come see us at Muscle Island. And Kyle, I think you should cut up everybody's thing and make them put it on their Instagram. Why they're excited. All right, we're out of here, Danny. Oink. Yeah.
All right, this is another AF Minicast. If you like this one or have any questions for next week, please drop them on G Social. I'm the Graphic Gangster. Small Arms Danny. The Commissioner Tyler Treadway. Mr. Cory G. Yeah. See you next week.